All right, in studio today, one of my favorite guests, Fred DEFELICE, Water Science US, is in here. We talk a lot about water because it's in your body's 99% water, by the way, unless you weren't sure about if it's important to have clean water. It certainly is. How you doing today, Fred?
I'm doing fantastic. So great to be here with you.
And, we talk a lot about what's in the water and what you can do to guarantee that your water's healthy. And, of course, Fred's got a system. We're going to talk all about the way he does things to help ensure that your family gets clean drinking water, and at a very cheap and reasonable price, by the way. But this thing in Oldsmar got us all concerned. We had to bring Fred in. Tell us about what happened. We understand there's a breach in the water system?
Absolutely. Basically what happened, some terrorist, obviously, was able to hack into the computer system.
So our water system, the whole water system is not a bunch of men standing around, with directing water with hoses and pipes. It's a computerized system that includes injecting different chemicals into our water to get a balance.
Exactly.
So when our water treatment facility is injecting different chemicals into our water to try to produce a balance, and it's all computerized.
It's all computerized. So, for example, they're injecting chloramine, which is chlorine and ammonia, right? They're injecting fluoride, which we're going to talk about later, and there's other components. Now, the sodium hydroxide that they put in the water has some benefits for keeping things clean in certain ways. It really is a specialized reason why they use it. Sodium hydroxide, people would know more so of its name called lye, right? And
so they're putting lye into the water. And now, again, I'm not a scientist.
Yep.
They have a reason for this.
They have a reason, and it's can put in a small amount. It's no problem.
Okay.
So this guy was able to hack in there, and he adjusted the setting to increase that. I think it was like 100 times more.
So an unscrupulous individual, a bad actor out there, is able, through his computer, to get into the water treatment facility, and he can adjust the chemical concentration in our drinking water.
Yep.
And he attempted to poison folks.
Yeah, he attempted to put this particular chemical in at that great amount, which the first thing that would happen, it would burn your skin. And God forbid if you drank it, it would burn your insides at that volume.
Can you imagine the damage? Guys out there, do you think about the water treatment facility? Think about everyone touched by that?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Now, fortunately, one of the employees was monitoring the system. And, if you have a computer guy come and work on your computer remotely, you can see the mouse and everything.
That's right.
And he was able to see that going on. So right away, he alerted his supervisors. They called in the FBI immediately.
Absolutely. There's no question this is an act of domestic terrorism.
Absolutely.
The amount of damage you can do affecting the water supply?
Yeah.
Wow. It's so hard to believe that we have these vulnerabilities out there. You don't want to consider that someone could do that kind of thing.
Yeah. And look, anything can go wrong even with the computer system as it is.
Right.
And all of a sudden, we're getting an imbalance of chemical.
And it's certainly, when you pour a glass of water from your tap, it's going to look the same to you. You're not going to pick it up with the naked eye.
It will.
Wow, so this is a really scary situation out there, folks.
Yeah, I'm following this closely because I really hope they find who's ever been responsible.
Absolutely.
This may lead to other things,
We need to close every loophole possible.
Absolutely.
Keep that water. I mean, outside of oxygen, that's it. There's nothing else, right? You got to have it.
Yeah. You can go, You can go without food for so many days, but you can't go out without water. So.
But people have no idea. You talk about the showering, the bathing, everything you're cooking with. Water is so intrusive. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
If you don't have it taken care of, if you don't have a solution out there. I mean, we talk a lot on the show about how, we're old enough to remember the tap water and the hose on the side of the house and how comfortable you were drinking out of that. Kids today don't want anything to do with tap water. They look at you like you're crazy if you try to pour a glass out of the sink.
Everything is bottled water for them.
Bottled water so expensive, and we talk a little bit about the bottled water challenge. Fred, if you could, just tell them a little bit about that.
Well, basically, a lot of our customers are telling us how much they're spending a month on bottled water.
Right.
And big family, they're spending $60, $70 a month. We had one family spending $100 a month. Just
a totally new expense. As a result of modern times, this is something you got to do.
Yeah. So we like to educate people the best we can. 90% of bottled water has microplastic particles. 90% of bottled water is reverse osmosis, which has no benefit, no minerals. So there's a lot of things why you wouldn't even want to drink bottled water.
You know, I hate to bring up the green aspect, but I always think about those plastic bottles, man. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They take forever to get rid of.
Yeah, and people are doing the best. They're recycling things. Those bottles aren't getting recycled. I hate to tell you that.
The volume's just overwhelming.
Yeah, there's no way.
I just find it unusual to me, the solution. I remember this years ago. I had a discussion with a friend of mine about bottled water and how they're going to make the bottles themselves more susceptible to breaking down. They're going to make them less sturdy, I guess.
Yep.
But the thing is, they start to degrade while the water's still in the bottle, Fred.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So in an effort to reduce the lifespan of the plastic bottle in the landfill, we've made the bottle degrade faster, which just puts the plastics in our drinking water.
Yeah. Some of our listeners may remember. I mean, I'm old enough to remember that you had a deposit on glass bottles when the Coca-Cola bottles and stuff. And they were able to reuse those. And man,
kids used to go around collecting bottles for money.
Yeah.
Unbelievable where we are now. We have to pay for the privilege of buying bottled water and polluting our environment. It really is a crazy situation we've got ourselves into, Fred.
Yeah, it is.
Now, you've got the solution to all this, at least it's not in terms of that crazy hacking story, which, again, is something you need to keep an eye on, everybody. But in terms of the bottled water challenge, let Fred come out and test your water.
Yeah, and basically, we really simplified our process. First of all, we don't have salesmen. I'm the owner of the company. You're going to be dealing with me. A phone conversation, 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
We can tell exactly what size system we're going to recommend. Upfront pricing, we have no secrets. You'll know exactly what the costs are. And we're rolling out this year a rental program.
Okay.
So people that don't own a home right now and they're renting can't get financing for that, but we can rent the system to them.
Fred's got a solution for you now. If you're listening and you've got a water softener, so you say, hey, I got a water softener. I don't need this system. Tell them about water softeners, Fred.
Yeah. If you have a water softener, you really want to do your own investigating, but I can tell you there's really not too much good about them.
It's salts, right?
The purpose of a water softener is to remove the minerals, which makes the water hard. Unfortunately, you're taking out the minerals that are healthy.
Right.
And in the process, because this has to backwash with salt, you're putting sodium in the water. We don't recommend you drink water from a water softener.
Right. Now, just to show you Fred's on the level here, when Fred comes out to do your water test, he doesn't try to scare you and say, hey, look, you got minerals in your water. He says, it's good. Look what's in your water. This is good stuff. Like, he's not trying to give you just clean, 100% water. Tell him about there's good stuff in the water too, Fred.
The minerals are incredible, are essential, So once you clean everything else out and leave those minerals in, the pH is great. It's alkaline. And then in addition to that, our under-sink system, which we really recommend.
Yeah, I like this one.
It treats the water for fluoride, pharmaceutical drugs, microplastic particles, and it increases the alkalinity.
And it's so easy when you're cooking to use the sink rather than have to go to a certain water source in your house,
Yeah.
The under sink unit he's going to put in, totally organic material, so he's not fighting chemicals with chemicals, which is very good. Right. But I'm saying, when you're cooking, you just want to go to the sink, you want to pour a glass, you want to fill a pot or a pan. Yeah. You don't want to have to wait and get specialized filtered water to do that. It's so nice to have the convenience of your tap like it used to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of Fred. We're going to talk a lot more about his system when we come back from this break right now. So waterscience.us. Fred's going to answer all your water questions. And again, this breach in Oldsmar was scary for everybody. Just something to consider that your water's everywhere around it. It's everything to us. If we don't have it, we're in big, big trouble. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Fred about that. And don't forget, I have a feel-good story for you about a Chick-fil-A employee who won a car at a raffle. You won't believe what she did with it. Don't go anywhere, and check us out online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372.